So it is still absolutely morning time. Welcome, Morton. Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan Morto, I think. It's like both of them came, like you came in twice. Weird. But good morning, everybody. It is good to see you today on this fantastic Friday. If you are watching me on anything other than the tick of the talk, please make sure that you greet me, say hello, because I don't get to see you join like I do on TikTok. Good morning, Red Hot. What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Hey, Barb. Hey, Lady. What's up, Linda? Hey, Metallic. How are you, Dad Jokes? Vashti, good to see you. David, good to see you. Hello, C. What's up, Lanny for Humanity? How are you? Always seeking better. Good to see you. How is Allie Nicole doing today? What's up, Gio? Hello, Charlotte Rose. How y'all doing? Y'all good? What's up, Sarah? Hey, Carla. Hey, coolest mom ever. What's up, Ada? Good to see you. Hello, 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 people. Thank you all for sending me your daily heart me's. Do not forget that once you send your daily heart me, you need to click that little heart again and claim your points and make it count. Hey, Renee, how are you? You guys doing all right? What's up, Grammy? I'm a little bit later. Hey, Deborah, good to see you over on Facebook. I'm a little bit later today. Today was Mila Girl's first fun run at school. So Tutu put on the the kiddo hat and went over and watched her do her first fun run, and then took them a couple of assorted like dozens of donuts for her class. What's up, Doug? Hey, Maya Reeds. What's up, Mrs. Henderson? Hey, Tammy. Farah, good to see you as well. Glad to see you guys. What's up, New World Mama on the tube of the U? Good to see you. Happy Friday. Absolutely. What's up, Grammy? Penny GF. Good to see you. How are you guys? How y'all feeling this morning? Y'all still riding the Mom Donnie wave? What's up, Deborah? Hey, Tech Lady. What's up, LB Donna? I am busy trying to do a ton today. So I am downloading from TikTok. I have two things downloading from TikTok. I'm copying things to my external hard drive so I can make room everywhere. And then still trying to go live today, do all the things. I have a hard stop at 2:10. That is my hard stop today. I got to grab Mila from the bus. The kiddos do have physical therapy today. Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow. Maybe we should do an early birthday song. That was Mila Girl. It was Mila Girl that had her first fun run. What's up, Ahmed? Hey, Sandy. Good to see you. So lots to talk about today. I do want to talk about the video that I put up yesterday, some responses to that video that I have received that, if I'm going to be really honest, irritated my soul. So we're going to talk about those. Hey, Mom with Gold, good to see you. Oh, I love that, Saint Bart. Enjoy your son, your daughter-in-law, and your grandbabies. Hey, Conchita, good to see you as well. All right, so listen, folks, make sure that wherever you are watching from, that you are doing the free things, right? The free things are liking, sharing, tapping, doing all the things, right? Those are all free things that you can do that help the algorithm kind of get behind this thing and get us going. Hey, Katrina, what's up, Witch? How are you? Melinda, good to see you. I think I said hi to Tammy Anderson. Hi. Oh, that one went too fast. That one went too fast. Hey, Shanna. Good to see you. All right. So listen, folks, we got a lot to talk about today. And as you can see, I'm still riding the Snap train. Three little birds sat on my window. You guys can't see this, okay? But on TikTok, they have like these like little emoticons that you can send people, right? So sometimes they're like firecrackers or hearts or whatever. And this one happens to be like three birds that literally sit on your head and sing. And every time I see them, hey, it's Sid Patrick. That's exactly what I think of every time somebody sits the three birds on my head. Oh, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Did you see the story that he's spinning about? Nope, girl, that went so fast. Salam Abu Malik. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Oh, that's a new one, Sandy. I haven't seen that one before. Yeah, I was like, did I see what? What? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't care. I'm okay with them coming in today because I want to address the SNAP thing. A new order came down from the judge yesterday. The things that I like about this new order is he actually mentioned, That's the dragon. Whenever you see me do that, I'm not smoking anything. That is the dragon head that someone has put on me on TikTok. And when I open my mouth, fire comes out, which I love, to be honest. The dragon is one of my faves, always has been. Yeah, I'm a bit of a, I think dragons are with me all the time. I'm a dragon girl. And you know what's funny? So is Bella. What's up, Ronnie? Good to see you, friend. Hey, Candy Kiss. Good to see you as well. So yeah, we're going to talk today. And I want to talk to you all about the judge's order from yesterday. I also want to talk to you about another pardon that you might not know that Donald Trump did yesterday, but he did. Now, if you're in Tennessee, you might know about it and it might piss you off because, yeah, oh, yeah, coolest mom. We can talk about it one day. Buenos dias, Mr. Barrios. Yeah, I'm not a fan of seeing people smoke on lives and things like that. I just think, yep, we're going to talk about that thing right there. Yeah, that's the thing that I really want to talk about. So what's up, Nader Who? Good morning to you. Good to see you popping on in here. So we are going to talk about all of those things. What's up, Cat Whisperer? Good to see you as well, Mandarific. All right, so lots and lots and lots to talk about. And of course, so listen, here's where we start. On these lives, we start in the U.S. We start in the United States of America. We talk about U.S. news and things that are going on. And then we tend to make our way around what else is happening everywhere else, right? Do not let me forget to talk about the House Dems asking Prince Andrew to come testify before Congress. Because I'm a little excited about that. Like, I guess I shouldn't call him Prince Andrew anymore because he got stripped of his titles, right? Good morning, Thomas Griffin. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You're very welcome. Yes, they did. And so I want to talk about that as well. Is Budman having a hard time today? Good morning, Jen. Yeah, I love that for him too, Farah. I do. Hey, Julia J. Um, Bless it. Okay, let's just go ahead and start right here. All right. So, Budman, I sent you an invitation to come up. If you accept that invitation, please do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. If you are new to my space, if you've never been to a live with me before, hey, Stephen, put a 1 in the comments, please. That way I can level set. I can tell you a little bit about how we do this space, and you make sure that you are in a place you want to be in. All right. We have dialogue and discourse. We don't always agree, but what we do in this space is 4 simple things. You can see them above the image, right? Welcome, God's girls. Love to see you here. What's up, Kimber? Good to see you too. Hey, Brandy. So listen, I ask you to, number 1, be respectful. That should not be a difficult thing. Everyone that is here is supposed to be an adult. So just simply be respectful, right? Number 2, don't use slurs. If you use slurs in my space, you will be muted and then booted from my live. Okay. We don't get down like that over here. Number 3, don't comment spam. What does that mean? That means don't say the same thing 55, 1100 billion times because yes, it clogs the algorithm. It hurts the algorithm. And it prevents other people from being effective and participating. What's up, Rosalind? Good to see you. So don't do that. Hey, perfection. And then last but not least, do not type in all caps. Why? All caps is reserved for my moderators in case there's something I really need to see and for my folks that are vision impaired. Okay. Budman, I sent you an invitation to join the panel. What's up? No going back. And if you will do that, then I can answer your questions and we can have a conversation about it. Okay. I'm not going back and forth with somebody in the comments. If you want to have an actual conversation, then you can just request to come on up. I sent you an invitation once. I will send you another one if you don't know how to request to join the panel. You do not have to come on camera. It's just easier to have a conversation. You guys don't go back and forth with Budman. Don't do that. Let Budman come up on this panel if Budman wants to engage in a conversation. We're not going to do distractions in the comments. Like that's not effective. It doesn't help anybody. What's up, Rebel? Good to see you. We're not doing that, right? So that's what we're going to do. Okay. No worries, Candy Kiss. No worries. Hey, Rebel. Good to see you. So I just want to talk about first when you mentioned that went by really fast too. Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me, but I don't know why nobody else is mentioning it because it's in the court order. What's up, Tim Ratliff? Good to see you. Hey, Teresa Pearson. Good to see you as well. Appreciate you guys for liking and sharing the live. It is greatly appreciated. If you are on the tick of the talk, please do me a favor. Make sure that you do your daily heart me up here. Just one little coin is all it is, and then make sure that you click the heart again and you claim your points. Got it? Got it. Don't engage with the people in the comments. Let me do that. Let me do that. And then we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Okay. What's up, Gabe the Babe? I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. So I'm just gonna double check really quickly and see who has. Yep, none of you guys have yet. All right. So Budman, you have an invitation to join the panel. Big, you can do the same thing. If neither of you do that, then don't expect for me to really go back and forth with you because I'm not doing that. All right. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I love that one, by the way. Where has Jeremiah been? Jeremiah has been live a lot. I appreciate that, Tim. Really, I do. He's been live on his account a lot. That's my thing. So, yeah, Jeff, not sure what you're talking about, but if you want to come to the panel and talk about it, we can do that. All right. So, a couple things that I want to cover that I went over yesterday and I want to make sure that people are aware of. And then it's going to lead right into the second thing. I'm sorry. Becky, did you just say I need to repent and call on Jesus or I'm going to go through tribulation? I think you mean, I think you mean, because you know that people go through tribulation every day, right? So like trials and tribulation is part of the human experience. I think you're talking about something different, Becky. I'm pretty sure you mean something different than tribulation because everybody goes through those. I'm just saying. Good morning, Cheryl. Did you see the book that I showed you that we got from the book fair, Cheryl? And Becky, if you want to talk about Jesus, honey, we can do that right now. I'll even get out my Bible. I don't know, Simon. Appreciate it, Sandy. Love that. It is wild out here in these TikTok streets. Yeah, Zoe girl, I got a Bible over there. You don't know? Yeah. I could even get out a Strong's Concordance if somebody needs one. And you might, because there's a difference in the words and their meanings from the Hebrew to the Greek. I don't know who Chucky is, Sandra. I don't know who Chucky is. I don't know who Chucky is, unless you mean like unless you mean like the movie, the little wild man from the movie. Yeah, the Strong's Concordance. I don't personally know Chuck Schumer. Do you know him? Maybe you can tell him. I don't personally know Chuck Schumer. Do you? They are having a real meltdown over here because of this photo. Oh, you're worried about the food. Well, food is a necessity, Sandra. Without food, you die. You do realize it's not a sin to worry about food. I mean, so listen, Sandra, there's this thing that happened in the Bible where people were hungry and Jesus took like some fish and some bread and he didn't make anybody go work for it either. Jesus just took the fish and the bread and he blessed it and it multiplied and he fed all the people. Jesus didn't say you got to do anything else except come eat. Sandra, if you want to talk about Jesus and food, then we can do that. What's wrong with these folk? So, Sandra, you do know that that's what Jesus did, right? You think it's a sin to be worried about food for people? I'm just wondering. She said, "You're worried about food." Yes, ma'am, I am. Absolutely, I am. I am concerned about food. Why am I concerned about food? Because there are children and seniors and people with disabilities that are not able to get their food, right? And so what Jesus did was Jesus said, "I got some fish and some loaves. I'm going to bless it. It's going to multiply and I'm going to feed the people. And I'm going to feed the people without requiring anything from the people. They don't have to pledge themselves to me. They don't have to join my political party. They don't have to vote for me. They don't have to do any of those things. All they got to do is be right here and eat. That's all they got to do. That's what Jesus did. So if you want to talk to me about Jesus and food, let's get at it. Let's get at it. Okay. George, you can join too. Come on, George, you can join the panel. George, you can join the panel. I'm happy to talk to any of you guys about all of these things. Let's come valid discussions. I will discuss with you all of it. You ready? I notice you just like running your jaws in the comments, but you're not finding your way. Right. Listen, Brian, you can join too. Right. I'm waiting. If you are upset about my image today or the fact that we are talking about SNAP benefits and why the president of the United States does not want to feed people, then please join the panel. That's the way that it works. Oh, Ace Linda, come on. Ace Linda, I can talk to you too. Come on. Because I am here well equipped with lots of facts. Those can be your friends. They can be your friend, and we can have a conversation. You ready? You want to hear it? Here it goes. They're not back everywhere today. They are not back everywhere today, Luke. It's important that people understand that they are not back today. Now, the judge that issued, Judge McConnell, he issued a separate order yesterday saying that the Trump administration has to release full SNAP benefits by tomorrow. But they have 100% appealed that judgment. Cosmo, don't lie. Don't lie. Cosmo, don't lie. Because listen, Cosmo Leviticus, I don't do misinformation in here. So I will happily send you right packing. Good morning, Robert Brooks. Good to see you. And by the way, can I play the game about if? Okay. So if the DOJ found fraud, then let me tell you what the DOJ's responsibility is to do. If the DOJ found fraud, then what the DOJ does is they prosecute the people that have committed fraud. That's how you handle it. When you find people that are guilty of fraud, you prosecute them. That's what you do. You don't stop feeding every fucking body else. You don't do that. You do. Do you know how silly you sound? Oh, we found. Now listen, I want you to know how silly you sound. You said they found millions in fraud. It is $8 billion a month in SNAP. $8 billion with a B. And you said they found millions in fraud. Well, if they found millions in fraud, that would still be a fraction, a tiny fraction of $8 billion a month. And if you found fraud, here's what you do. You prosecute the people committing fraud and you keep feeding the other hungry American citizens in this country. That's what you do. You don't stop feeding people. You just sound silly. You just sound silly. That's it. You just sound really silly. You just sound silly, disconnected. Hey, Amy. Well, Cosmo, nobody gives a shit what you think. Here's what I'm going to do. Cosmo, one of my moderators put Cosmo on a clock. Cosmo, you've got 60 seconds to join the panel or you're just going to be blocked because you're here to distract and I'm not here for that. 60 seconds, Cosmo can either find their way to the panel or Cosmo can be booted. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it. Whew. Hello, Ethan. Hey, David. Good to see you as well. All right. Well, yeah, he does sound ignorant, but it also is silly. Great. Perfect. Good morning, Cosmo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am perfect. All right. So, what is the argument that you have with regard to SNAP?
Just want to back up 1 second. Did you say you're perfect?
Yeah. You said, how am I? I'm perfect.
So you're
yep.
Perfect.
I am.
So you construe yourself as a perfect being.
You ask, how am I? I am perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make
Great.
Sure I understand who I'm talking to.
I'm glad. So again, we're not talking about me. What we're talking about is SNAP.
I thought you said I am. I thought that was you.
No, you asked me how I am. So I told you. But the conversation is about SNAP. If we could just try to stay on, if we could stay on topic, that would be helpful. All right. So the question is, what is the issue that you have with SNAP?
I think the majority, number one, of the SNAP recipients are obese, right? So SNAP is a nutrition program, right? It's about nutrition. But the people receiving it are obese. So if you don't have enough money for food, how is it that you're obese?
So here's the first thing that I would like to ask you is, can you share with me your data that shows that the people that are on SNAP are obese?
Sure. The easiest way to go for that stat is just to look at the majority of the U.S. citizens.
No, so it's not.
330 million people in the United States. Majority of the U.S. persons or citizens are obese.
Okay, hold on. Nope. So what you're talking about is correlation, not causation. And so we can't, so excuse me, so please don't interrupt. What I'm asking you is for the website where you have data on the participants of SNAP and the participants who receive their SNAP entitlement, what percentage of them are obese?
Go to any SNAP benefits office and you'll see.
No, Cosmo. Nope. Yeah. That's not what I asked you for. I didn't ask you for your assumptions and your thought process. That's not what I asked you for. So again, Cosmo, again, right? So here's something that I do in this space, and I'm not sure what types of, lives you're used to going to. Okay. But in here, when we have discussions, and we can have all types of them and we do not have to agree, we do it and we talk about facts, right? So what I'm specifically asking you for is your data. Well, first you need to prove it, and you can't. So that's the first thing. I don't have to listen. Excuse me, Cosmo, stop it. Don't talk over me either, because it's rude. Like, I went over the very first guideline. The very first guideline in my live is just be respectful, right? So if you come into this space and you make a claim and you make that claim, and I ask you for the evidence to back up your claim, it is not then my responsibility to disprove your claim. No.
Okay, so stop talking with the hands. It's really distracting.
Well, no. If you can't, so listen, I'm pretty sure that you don't know how this works. So again,
So
I can
you
talk. Cosmo, I said stop interrupting me.
This is not.
I said,
fairness.
la, la, la. So listen, Cosmo, I told you before, I don't know what live you're used to going into, but in this live, we are respectful. And you don't run this live, I do. Now, if you want to go on to another live where you tell people how they should talk, whether they should use their hands, then you would need to go to TikTok and go live on your own account. And the other thing that you would know is that in this space, when you don't behave accordingly and respectfully, you get muted. And if I mute you, then I take you off of mute. Not you, me. And the reason why that is because I can't trust you to be respectful. So that's the way that this works. I am happy to engage in a conversation with you, but we are going to do it respectfully. And if you think that my hands are distracting, close your eyes and talk. You don't have to look at me to hear me. Now, the question that I am asking you is, where is the evidence to back up your claim that SNAP recipients, the majority of them, are obese? That's the question. So what I'm going to ask you is, do you have a source that specifically outlines SNAP participants and the percentage of them that are obese? That's a yes or no question. Hey, Tammy, good to see you.
So the answer is we don't have a statistic available for you right now, but I can go get one.
Who's we?
We, society, the obese society.
Well,
What are your pronouns,
we didn't make a claim. You did.
Okay, so So what are your pronouns?
Okay, so you don't. Got it?
No, I don't have it available. I can go get it for you.
Okay. Well, do you want to do that and come back? I'm going to be here for about 3 hours.
Okay. Sure. What
Sure.
are your pronouns?
So do you want to go get it and come back?
Yes.
Great. Okay. I'll be here. All right. Yeah, 100%, Melinda. And you see how I just stayed right here? So, folks, listen. If people don't learn anything else, you are going to learn to be respectful in this space with me. Now, if you want to have a very valid discussion about SNAP benefits and recipients and why you do or don't believe we should have them or get them or whatever, then let's do that. But we're going to do it respectfully. That's it. Titan, stop. I don't know why he's trying to open the door. Okay. All right. So if there is anyone else that has something that you would like to say with regard to SNAP benefits, please let me know in the comments. Dirty Bad Bloggers, you do? Oh, you're ready? Great. Love that. Give me 1 second, Dirty Bad. Oh, alaikum salam. I don't know why it hit you. Give me 1 second, okay? Alaikum salam. Sometimes, TikTok be moving stuff around. I'm good. Keep halik. Alhamdulillah. Awesome. Okay, so Cosmo, where is your stat?
So just before I start, did you guys hear about Mamdani's issues with immigration?
But we're actually not talking about Zohran Mamdani right now. We're talking about SNAP. So where's your source?
Okay, so there's multiple sources, USDA and CDC.
So can you give me the exact? So I need the exact statistic, please. What's the website? What's the USA? Where's the URL?
Go to USDA, you can find it if you just
USDA. Where is the? Hold on. I'm asking you the URL. What's the name of the report?
It has its own search bar, so you could type.
But I'm asking you for your source. So what is the name of the report? What is the data? What is the date? What's the public, like all of that? What is it?
All right, so you can look at www.fns.usda.gov.
And but that's the overall website. I'm asking you specifically for the report.
That's not the overall website.
That is the Food and Nutrition Service. That is the general page for Food and Nutrition. What I'm asking you for is the name of the report and the data that shows SNAP participants and their percentages of obesity.
Sure. So it's Cato Institute 2023 report. The 2025 report is even worse.
And it's specifically about SNAP?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so can you tell me, give what's the name of the report?
Cato.org, and it's under Cato Institute 2023 SNAP participants.
I don't see it. Show me. Tell me what it is exactly.
I'm giving you.
What's the URL? What's the boy? Bye. You can come back when you know how to behave. Get out of here. You can come back. Yeah, you can come back. Talking about the young lady. Boy, get the fuck out of here. Come back when you know how to have a respectful conversation. If you can't figure that shit out, I don't know what to tell you. I don't care. Cosmo can say he's a millionaire. He can say whatever he wants to say. I don't care. When he learns how to speak and be respectful, then we can have a conversation. Until he does that, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. He can say whatever he wants to say. He can walk up in here and be like, I'm Jesus. I don't care. Yes, the Cato Institute is a think tank. Yes, correct. Good Lord. Y'all are off it. Y'all are really off your rockers today, are you not? Yes, you are. Like you just got problems. Okay, so Muhammad Al-Dawar. No, the full moon just passed, Mr. Barrios. The full moon just passed. They are really crashing out, Tammy. Yeah, I know. So David, no, they don't know. They don't know. It's really wild to me. So let me pull up. Hold on a second. I need to pull up. Yeah, don't spam or you'll end up getting blocked. Okay, folks. Just so that you know. So listen, you guys, don't get into it with with Snap, please. Don't do that. Don't get into it with Snap. I mean with Cosmo. Hello, Raja. Okay. Okay, so I need Ahmed Darari. I'm good. Alhamdulillah, Raja. Ahmed, can you do me a favor? Can you come up? I need you to say something in English for me for everybody, real quick. Just real quick. Give me 1 second. I need you to translate for me for a moment. Thank you guys for requesting. Oh, I bet he's not here. Hold on, let me text. Oh, DJK is okay, perfect. Okay, so if you noticed, as soon as I started letting folks up, salam DJK. So I just want to make.
Go ahead, then.
Thank you, Raja. Okay, so I just want to tell them I accidentally, when I was trying to bring up Cosmo, I brought up Aldor, and I haven't been on an hour yet. DJK, can you tell them? Yeah, I put it
in the comments actually earlier. I didn't know because I saw that your live was popping over 400, and then as soon as you started bringing them up, it dropped.
Yes. So I just haven't been on long enough yet.
Yeah, I got you. So what, in about a couple of hours probably?
Probably
right?
at like 1 o'clock my time. So in 1 hour, actually.
Okay. So I'll let them know, and then you're going to drop them, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So السلام يا اخواني من غزة. بس داني طلعت شم بالغلط عشان لسه ما
Give me 1 second, you guys.
البث. طلعتك بالغلط محمد ورجا والجميع.
مو مشكله
حبيبي بدها تنزل زي ما بتشوف اليوم دخلتوا على البث بكت البث فوق ال 400 واحد حكيت نزل عشان طلعت بدها تنزلكم وبعد ساعه كمان بترد تطلع اخوه بترد تطلع
مش مشكله يا حبيبي مش مشكله
as you like Danny
حبيبي شكرا خلينا موجودين معك
الله معك الله يحميكم يا رب. Go ahead, Danny. You can drop them.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Also.
Okay. Thank you, DJK. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I got you.
Yep. I just want to not have it screw us up yet. And it immediately knocked like so many down immediately. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So I want to talk about a couple of different things. All right. When we talk about obesity, which if I'm being really honest, I shouldn't have even let him go down that road because obesity doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you should be allowed to have food, right? That's just not a thing. We don't tell people whether or not, and it tickles me when Trump supporters talk about this and they say, oh, well, they buy sugary foods or they buy this or they buy that. Okay, let me just be clear, folks. When you talk about you do not want big government, right? Well, the government doesn't tell you how to eat. The government doesn't get to tell you how to eat. The government just says, here is the food here's the food that you are entitled to, right? That's it, period. That's it. Right. So when you talk about, well, number one, they're obese. Number two, that's none of your fucking business. So like, just to be clear, it doesn't matter if they are obese or not. Because I'll tell you what else contributes to obesity, and it has a huge impact. Because the same way that you might find that people who are on SNAP benefits are obese, if you found that, right? Guess what? You would also find that lower income people, right, have to eat cheaper foods. Cheaper foods tend to be higher processed foods. They tend to be not as good for you. You will also find multiple contributing factors that have to do with obesity, right? So correlation is not causation. Because if that's the case, I would like to know why the president of the United States is obese. Because he is. Okay. So should we stop giving him his salary? Should we stop the president from eating because his ass is fat? Should we do that? I just want to know. Oh, Mountain Girl, do you know how old I am? Mountain Girl, do you know how old I am? Come on, boo. Come on up here. Do you know how old I am? Yeah, see? Be careful when you open them jaws and stick your foot down your fucking throat. Be careful. Yes, Sandra, pretty much. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Carla. Yeah. Yeah. So listen, hey Timber, good to see you. What's up, Donna Ski? How are you? So listen, folks, let me be clear. When you say to people who are economically disadvantaged, well, you shouldn't get SNAP entitlements because you are obese, right? You are now sitting from a place of privilege and judgment and condemning other people, which, by the way, is not very Christian. If that's the faith that you claim, it's not very neighborly if you're in the South. It's just very funny to me that people would say that at all, right? Yeah, well, so some of the West Coast folks also requested to try to balance it out. So we'll see. Yeah. What's up, Lynn? Good to see you. When is Mama Danny going to interview Mom Donnie? Shit, as soon as possible. as soon as he would happily get on here, 100%. All right, so listen, the things that I do want to talk about with regard to SNAP benefits is I'm not sure, but and I want to be clear about that. Okay, so Tammy, let me pull up the thing that you're talking about. Okay. So first of all, I need you to know Cato at Liberty. Cato at Liberty is a right-leaning think tank that is not. And so here's one of the things that I don't like is okay, so what I'm looking at, these charts this is not, hold on a second. Yeah. So here's what's interesting to me. This is about all individuals and low income individuals. It talks about SNAP is generally for low income individuals, but these are not necessarily recipients of SNAP in this blog. So it's really important that when you cite a source like the Cato Institute, that what you are citing is an actual study based on the actual data of SNAP recipients, right? So if you take generic information and you say SNAP is created for low income people, and then you go into the USDA's website and you take data for all people and low income individuals, and then you attribute that to SNAP people, that's not a fair assessment because not all low income people are on SNAP. Do y'all follow me? It's really important for people to be able to make those distinctions. And what's crazy about this report from the Cato Institute, this Cato Institute SNAP and obesity that he referred to, that's dated from 2023, refers to a USDA report from 10 years ago. So if you read what he's talking about, right, when you get all the way down here, because I'm looking at it. By the way, the URL is cato.org/blog/SNAP obesity. Okay. That's what it is. And it says in the CDC data for the chart. So here's what the Cato Institute did. The Cato Institute took data from the CDC to show obesity from all individuals and low income individuals. And then they go down in this report and they say, the USDA did find that SNAP recipients are more obese, right, than similar income non-recipients. Well, guess what? The report that they cite is from 10 years ago. But guess what else it said? Another USDA study found that, quote, lower nutritional quality of household food acquisitions was associated with SNAP participation status. Maybe that's because The average SNAP recipient only receives $190. And in this economy, $190 won't buy you shit. So you end up buying lower nutritional quality food because you don't get enough SNAP benefits to cover the expensive ass groceries that we have in this country. You got to think this thing all the way through, people. But it tickles me when people want to act like this, right? A lot of ramen, Shelly. It tickles me when people act like they just can make these assumptions. This is what's wrong when you don't know how to critically think. And for the people who say, well, then get out and get a job. So the majority of the people that are on SNAP, that are able-bodied, do work. Having a job doesn't mean that you don't need SNAP. I know people who have 2 jobs and still qualify for SNAP. Now, Mountain Girl, I got no problem with Schmeck's work, right? I really don't. And I don't want to make an assumption, but your profile picture gives the impression that maybe you are using your natural given talents to make a living. And if not, then sorry, I don't mean to assume, right? But what I am saying to you is not all jobs pay the same. Okay? Not all jobs pay the same. Now, if we had a country where healthcare wasn't attached to if you work for a company that gives health insurance, maybe there would be less obesity regardless of your income level. Imagine that. What if your ability to work for a large corporation wasn't the thing that determined whether or not you got health insurance? You might find less people obese. Healthier even. Right. We don't play with that at all. And this is the thing. So this is the thing that I don't like when companies do shit like this. This blog post that Cato did that Cosmo referred to, right? This blog post is the kind of shit that makes me angry. And the reason it makes me angry is because it takes CDC data and then talks about a study that's 10 years old from the USDA, and it doesn't correlate any of it together, and it just insinuates a bunch of shit, and it's misleading to justify a particular position. I can't stand that. It irritates my soul. And then what's crazy is the study that they refer to that says that SNAP participants have lower nutritional quality of household foods. That damn page doesn't even exist on the USDA.gov website anymore. When you click it, it says page not found. Isn't that crazy? If you are going to bring me a source, please let it be a reliable, fact-based source. So, anyway. Oh, thank you, Dr. K. All right. So, what's up, Phantom? Yeah, Sandy's here. Michelle, Sandy is here. Absolutely. All right. So, let's talk about where we are. So, 100%, Robin. By the way, good to see you. All right. So, let's talk about where we are and how we got here. All right. So, where we are right now is we are at a place where whoops, hold on. Whoop. Please don't do that, TikTok. All right. Let me finish this real quick. I'm going to fix this really quick. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. So what we know is that Saturday of last week, there was a judgment that was issued for the Trump administration regarding SNAP. All right. Now, there are things about this judgment that a lot of people aren't talking about that I do want to talk about and that I talked about yesterday and the day before. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I appreciate it. All right. So listen. So a couple of things that are really, really important. All right. Because these things matter when you're having conversations with other people, because these are the actual facts around SNAP and what's happening with the United States of America currently right now. All right. So it takes $8 billion. Okay. It takes $8 billion every month to fund SNAP. Okay. $8 billion. Now, what we have currently in the SNAP contingency fund is $6 billion. Okay. Now, where did we get that $6 billion from? It was from appropriations from Congress in 2024 and in 2025. Those appropriations said that funding for SNAP was $122 billion. Thank you, Sandy. And they had to take $3 billion of that from 2024, and it had to remain in a contingency fund available through September 30th of 2026. So that's $3 billion in a contingency fund. This year, we continued that same level of funding, $122 billion, of which we took $3 billion and we put it into a contingency fund where it has to stay, where it's available until September 30th of 2027. So that means we have $6 billion in a contingency fund specifically meant for SNAP in the case of a government shutdown and those funds need to be used. So you might be saying, well, that still leaves us $2 billion short. Well, let me tell you, the judge last Saturday gave the Trump administration a way to fix that deficit. And here's the part that is really, really, really important. Follow me, guys. All right. So what the Trump administration said to this judge prior to his ruling last Saturday was, hey, listen, if we have to do partial payments, right? If we have to do partial payments, that's going to be a headache. It's going to take like a lot of staff. It's going to take like it's going to cause a great delay because then we have to figure out how much some people get versus some other people. And it would be a headache. And the judge said, I got you. Let me give you the fix. So this is what the judge told them in the order from last week. So the judge said, listen, because a partial funding would create a mess, I'm going to tell you how to get around that and just alleviate it and fully fund SNAP. Gotcha? Hey, Cats Meow. So here's what the judge said. Now you can find this on page 4, starting at bullet point 4. So can I share this? Can I share this with you all? Because this is really important. When we talk about SNAP, we have to stop talking about $40 billion for Argentina. We have to stop talking about money for a jet. We have to stop talking about money for the ballroom. Do you want to know why? Because you are distracting from SNAP. And if we simply talk about SNAP and we simply talk about USDA funds, the money is fucking there. Stop talking about all the other things. Stop talking about it. The money is here. We don't got to pull it back from anywhere else. We can talk about those things on a different day when we want to talk about what we're not doing everywhere else. What we're going to talk about right now is just SNAP, just USDA funds. Okay? So listen, page 4 of this ruling, right, that came out last Saturday on November 1st, and this is from Judge McConnell, all right? So page 4, bullet point 4, this is what he says. Therefore, to ensure the quick, orderly, and efficient implementation of the court's order, to fulfill the statute designation of SNAP as an entitlement and to alleviate the irreparable harm that the court found exists without the timely payment of SNAP benefits, the government should, within its discretion, find the additional funds necessary beyond the contingency funds to fully fund the November SNAP payments. And then the judge said, I'm going to tell you where to go get them. Do y'all hear me? He said, I'm going to tell you where to get them. Funds that are available for this include a fund created by created by Section 32 of the Agricultural Adjustment Act Amendments of 1935 that had over $23 billion in it as of October 8th, 2025. And then he tells them where to go find that amount that he gave them. The USDA is authorized under 7 USC 2257 to use a percentage of funds that are appropriated interchangeably for certain expenditures. So hear what the judge told the Trump administration 6 days ago. The judge, girl, I'm not talking to you. So the judge said, here's what you need to do. Since you have told me that partial payments would be too big of a headache and too messy and too distracting and too delaying, you need to fully fund them. And you need to fully fund them by finding the extra $2 billion that isn't there. And here's where you can find them. Under USDA, you have $23 billion in the state child nutrition program. Go pull $2 billion out of that, add it to the $6 billion in contingency funds, and boom, you can fully fund SNAP for the month of November. That is it. End of story. There's no argument. You don't get to debate whether or not people should eat. Let me just tell you something. If you are someone that is sitting back in judgment of people who need SNAP benefits, you might want to have a little talk with Jesus because you suck as a human being. And I'm saying that with all the love of Jesus. I really am. Okay. Now, in addition to that, what happened yesterday was pretty great. All right. So what happened yesterday is the judge said, hey, you defied my court order. And what was beautiful is the judge pulled up Trump's own Truth Social account to show them that the Trump administration intended not to follow his orders. And he said, that's not okay. So if you remember, Trump put out on Truth Social that SNAP benefits were not going to be paid until the government was open. And this judge said, I don't know who you think you are, but that's not what I told you to do. Okay. It's amazing, right? User, I don't do fake people. I don't do that. But listen, user 74, blah, 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 blah. You can either join the panel or just go ahead and get blocked, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Good morning, Ramona. All right. So thank you, Sandy. All right. So here's the way that it goes. All right. He doesn't have a choice but to, Jarko, and I'm going to explain to you why. So yesterday, here's what happened. There's a 16-page, and there was an oral argument that was made yesterday, and then there was a second suit that was filed yesterday. So let me share all of it with you. All right. So here's where we are. Yesterday, Judge McConley said, you got to release full funding for SNAP for November by Friday. And he said, listen, I don't care that you said partial payments, because the government said, well, listen, we said we would partially fund it, and we said by Wednesday that we would partially fund it, right? And the judge said, that ain't what the fuck I told you to do. Now, he didn't say it like I just said it, but what the judge said is, that's not what I said. Because what the federal government tried to say is, well, listen, the federal government tried to say, well, we said we would partially fund it, but it's going to take a while for states to figure out what everybody should get, right? And the judge said, nope, that's not what I said. I said people need to receive their benefits by Wednesday. If you're going to do partial benefits, they need to be distributed by Wednesday. Not you tell us on Thursday that you're going to partially fund them, and then it's going to take weeks for everybody to figure out. The judge said, that's not what I said. So I'm going to read to you some quotes from the judge yesterday. You ready? He said, quote, last weekend, SNAP benefits lapsed for the very first time in our nation's history. This is a problem that could have and should have been avoided. The government, quote, knew there would be a long delay in paying partial SNAP benefits and failed to consider the harms individuals who rely on those benefits would suffer, right? He went on to say, because let me just tell you what happened. So the Trump administration said, well, we have the discretion to make full payments or do partial payments, right? And the judge said, yeah, but you were required to make those partial payments by Wednesday. And the judge said, quote, that's the plain reading of the court's order. And instead, the government did nothing to ensure that the money would be paid on Wednesday. He actually noted that the president's Trump post on social media said that benefits wouldn't be funded until the government reopened. And the judge said, listen, your post indicates that. And he said the president, quote, stated his intent to defy the order on social media. So he used Donald Trump's Truth Social to prove that this is not about whether or not they could partially pay or fully pay, but that Trump said, I'm not going to do this until the government is opened. And the judge went on to say, quote, people have gone without for far too long. Mountain Girl's been muted. Mountain Girl's gone. Hey, Auntie Tinker. He said, quote, people have gone without for too long. Not making payments to them for even another day is simply unacceptable. So the Justice Department attorney, Tyler Becker, argued that the government complied with the judge's order by making all $4.6 billion in the USDA contingency fund available to states on Monday, and then releasing guidance for how to distribute the partial payments. And McConnell said, quote, but that's not what the order said, Mr. Becker, right? The government also argued that it can't divert the money from other funds. However, they can, and they did it to pay WIC. So we know that they can. And he did it during the first administration, right? Alaikum salam. And then what happened in a separate court, in Massachusetts, states filed suing the administration in a completely separate motion on yesterday, seeking to force the government to pay for SNAP in full. So this is where we are. And the bottom line is nonprofits do not have the ability to make up for the $8 billion from the federal government. They just don't. All right. Now, what did the Trump administration do? When the Trump administration was ordered to release the funds so that 42 million Americans can buy their groceries, guess what they did? I did, but I'll explain it again. They appealed it. So when they were ordered to feed people and release all the money tomorrow, they appealed it because they don't want to feed people. What does that say about this president and his administration? If a judge orders you to feed people, why would you appeal it? Because you don't want to feed people. Because the funds are available. And I'm going to note the cruelty. Listen, I keep saying this. I have to say this every damn day. Listen, I'm going to keep saying this until y'all stop saying it. Stop saying cruelty is the point or the cruelty is intentional. They give a shit about the cruelty, people. It is about power. It is about greed. If cruelty happens to be something that people experience, they don't care. It is about the power. It is about the greed. It is not about being cruel to people. If that happens as a result, fine. They don't care. That's all this is. Okay, so listen. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to read it. This is all in this one court order, and this court order is in my link tree, folks. No matter where you are watching me at, my link tree is in my profile. No matter where you're watching me from, my link tree is in my profile. This court order is in my link tree. It's just several pages long. All right, so listen. Here's what it says. One of the very first things that people need to know is page 4, bullet point 3. Bullet point 3 is critical. Do you want to know why? People want to act like this is something special that you do for people. It's not. How many of you all know, and if you were with me yesterday, of course you know, but how many of the rest of you who've never heard me say this understand that SNAP is actually by law an entitlement? It is lawfully an entitlement. It's not some extra, oh, I'm being nice to you because I feel like it. Nope. It is by law an entitlement. If you did not know that, put a 1 in the comments. If you did not know that Congress, by law, indicated that SNAP was an entitlement, put a 1. It is an entitlement. And I'm going to tell you what it says. You ready? It says Congress, this is bullet point 3 from the federal Judge McConnell. Bullet point 3, Congress created SNAP as an entitlement. The statute provides that, quote, assistance under this program shall be furnished to all eligible households who make application for such participation. Did you hear that? It didn't say assistance under this program might be furnished if you're eligible. It said shall be furnished. It didn't say that. It said it shall be furnished. The appeal will not take forever. The appeal will be decided, and it doesn't matter. The court order stands today. So listen, just so that we understand, you guys, listen. They can appeal it and nobody gives a shit until that appellate court makes a decision that overrules the existing one. The existing order from yesterday is what is on the books. Let me make sure y'all understand something. Y'all know when people go to prison, when people go to jail and they are found guilty of unaliving, they're found guilty of murder, right? And they get their ass locked up in jail and they're sentenced to life. And they appeal it. They don't get to walk the fuck around because they appealed it. No, Joker. You stay locked up until the appellate court says different, no matter how long that takes. So just because Trump appealed it doesn't mean nothing, because the order yesterday said release that money today. I don't care that they appealed it. Guess what they got to do today? Release $8 billion. That's what they got to do today. People appeal the law every day because they think they have an argument against the law. Well, no, actually, Mimi, they do. And it's been proven time and time again that they do apply to Trump. And I'm going to give you an example, Mimi. So in this past summer, at the end of July, right before schools were about to start up, the Trump administration said, we're not going to give you the funding that we were going to give you for education. And a bunch of Democratic attorney generals sued the Trump administration. And guess what the fuck happened? They gave the funding the very next damn day. They received their funding the next damn day. Stop acting like he's winning every court case, because he's not. He's actually losing more court cases than he wins. But the media doesn't tell you that, so you think something has happened. Now, what I'm hearing is that people are already getting benefits, whether that's because of their state or whether that's because of the federal government. I don't know, because it depends upon where you live. They'll be found in contempt. And it's up to this judge whether or not they are found in criminal contempt, which they can be. And I'm going to tell you, this judge would have a great argument for criminal contempt based on Donald Trump's Truth Social post. His Truth Social post says that he intended to not follow this court order. Oh, well, then the judge can order somebody else to do what needs to be done and lock the other people up. I want you all to understand something. I know that all of this stuff can be scary. I do know that. I understand. But what I want to also offer to you, what I want to also remind you, is that as soon as the election happened last year, as soon as that happened, okay, there were Democratic attorneys general all across the country that met together. All of them did. And do you know what they did? They took all of the pages, the 900 pages of Project 2025, and they divided them up into different sections. And then those Democratic attorneys general from across the country looked at everything that this administration was going to try to do. And then they looked at where they had jurisdiction. And then they began to prepare to handle all of these things in court, like education funding, like SNAP benefits. It's important for you all to understand that nobody's sitting around like getting caught off guard. In California, Gavin Newsom called a special session the very week that Trump won the election. He called his entire state legislature in. It's up to the judge, Stayfly. But he called a special session and said, we are working ahead. And so did all the other countries around the world. This is why we are missing out in billions upon billions of dollars on trading with our allies, because our allies are now trading amongst themselves and using us only where they have to. You all do understand that, right? The value of the dollar has decreased drastically since the Trump administration began at the beginning of this year. That is why your groceries cost more. That is why everything costs more. We don't have the same value that we did before the beginning of this administration. I know that it is difficult to not look at Trump, but what I want you to do is take your eyes off of him. Because, by the way, this ain't his plan. This ain't his plan. He's just the Trojan horse through which they're getting it done. That's it, you guys. Do not look at him. What you have to look at is what's actually happening in the court systems and what's going down. All right? So let me go over this part because this part is important. So hear me say this, okay? So when the judge said that Congress created SNAP as an entitlement, and then he quoted that statute, the statute is 7 USC 2014. That's the statute that says SNAP is an entitlement. If you apply for SNAP and you are eligible based on the federally mandated guidelines, then you are entitled to it according to the law. Okay. Now, what's also great is that because of 7 USC 2257, when Congress appropriates money, okay, when Congress appropriates money, let's just say it says $122 billion for SNAP benefits, X amount of dollars for the state child nutrition program, X amount of dollars for women, infants, and children program. And all of those bank accounts are under the USDA. So this is the USDA. They are the holder of each of these accounts. So the USDA has a bank account for SNAP, a bank account for WIC, and a bank account for the state child nutrition programs. And what they have is under 7 USC 2257. The administration has at its discretion the ability to use a percentage of those funds that have been allocated to accomplish those same goals. That is why they were able to dip into a fund and fund WIC. That is why they were able to dip into a fund in his first term and fund SNAP. You got it? Think of it like you have different bank accounts, and you might have a bank account. This is for utilities. And within my utilities, I'm going to pay my electric, my water, my cable, my cell phone, whatever. And you found out that you didn't allot exactly what you needed for one of those bills. Well, then you could take from one account a certain amount to pay the other one. That's the same thing that we're talking about here. And by law, the president has the discretion to do that. Now, what's important is to also understand that what happened is in 2024, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2024, Congress appropriated more than $122 billion for SNAP. And what they said is $3 billion of that to be put into a contingency fund and remain available through September 30th of 2026 in case it needs to be used to carry out the program operations. And then the same thing happened in the Continuing Appropriation Extensions Act of 2025. They said that another $3 billion has to also go into this fund and remain available through September 30th of 2027. That is where we have $6 billion that exists. And then we have a $23 billion bank account, right, for the state child nutrition programs that is also under USDA. And the judge said, just go get the other $2 billion from this account to put it with the $6 billion. So now we have the full $8 billion needed to fully fund SNAP for November. That's it. That's it, folks. There's no reason this isn't done. There's no reason this can't be done. There's no reason it shouldn't have already been done. And there's no justification. Do you hear me say that? There's no justification. There's nothing that you can say. No, they did not. Stop lying, you fearmongerer. James, they did not spend this money. The judge literally looked at the damn bank account and said there's over $23 billion in it as of October 8th. Stop that. Do y'all want to know how silly you sound? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Coco, he did not take the money for himself. Y'all are silly. Listen, do you understand where they're making their money from? They're making their money from the cryptocurrency and playing with the stock market and all of that. They don't need to steal from the government in order to line their pockets. Sandra, I don't know. It's whoever he appoints. Stop saying that. They can make a hell of a lot more money by pardoning people that are in business with the boys, because that's what Trump did. He pardoned the man that is over the business that the boys are handling for crypto, and then did a deal with them. That's what he did. You don't have to go to steal from the government. Them corner office boys, exactly, Mr. Barrios, right? So you all, like, listen, stop going, oh, what if they spin it all? And what if they did it in this? And what if they stop the what if is? If you just stick to facts. Listen, folks, if you just stick to facts, there's no justification for this and the money's available. Do you hear that? You don't have to make up stuff. Shit is bad enough on its own. You do not have to make up stuff. Okay? Sheesh. Goodness gracious. So, it is not all about the cruelty. I keep saying this. No, it's not. The cruelty is a byproduct. It's all about power, greed, and money. The cruelty is just a byproduct. They don't give a shit. Okay, let me put it like this. How many of you all cook regular bacon? Like, put a 1 in the comments if you cook regular bacon. I don't care if you do apple smoked, hickory smoked, but just regular pork bacon. Put a 1 in the comments if you make bacon. Now, if you're from the South, do you keep your bacon grease? Because I know in the South we do. But how many of you all keep the bacon grease from the bacon to do other stuff with, to season other stuff, to cook other stuff? Now, is the point the bacon grease? Or is the point the damn bacon and the bacon grease is a byproduct? Is the point the bacon grease? No, the point is the damn bacon. The grease is a byproduct. And yeah, it might be cool to use, and you might be able to do something with it, right? But it ain't the point. Okay. Whew. So please stop saying cruelty is the point. No, the fuck it ain't. The bacon is the point. Okay? So I hope that analogy was helpful for people. Okay. Sheesh, oh Pete, y'all. All right. Now, if you are from the long ass state of Tennessee, Or, well, first, let me do this in 2 steps. If you are from the long ass state of Tennessee, put an orange heart in the comments. If you are from the state of Tennessee, put a orange heart in the comments. Where are my Tennessee people at? I see y'all coming up in here. All right, I see orange hearts. Okay. So, if you are, on another note, if you are also tired of the corruption in state legislatures, put a black heart in the comments. No, that's a Danny thing. It is a long ass state, though. All right. So several years ago, we had some corrupt ass people in the state legislature in Tennessee, Glenn Cassida and Cade Cothran. They were there. All right. Not only were they corrupt and convicted of defrauding the people of Tennessee or intending to defraud the people of Tennessee, okay, they were also racist, bigoted, and all the things. How do I know that? Because their text messages were recovered in a FOIA request in which they referred to Black people as monkeys and included a meme from Django, right? And yesterday, Donald Trump pardoned Glenn Cassida. Yesterday, Donald Trump pardoned Glenn Cassida. How about that? You didn't know that? Sure did. He had just been convicted. Correct. He was just convicted and he was immediately pardoned. He was the Speaker of the House for the Tennessee State Legislature back in 2018, 2019. You all ought to be sick of seeing the President of the United States pardon guilty, corrupt people. Whether it's dropping charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams, whether it's pardoning Glenn Cassida, whether it's pardoning the people from January 6th. You ought to be sick and tired of this. For God's sake, he pardoned fucking Roger Stone. Oh, he knows exactly who he is. Tennessee is one of the top places for going along with the Trump administration. Yep, George Santos even. No, they were federal charges, Jody. Give me a second. Let me show you. So Glenn Cassida was, and Cade Cothran, by the way, who Cade got caught with some white powdery stuff in the bathroom of the Tennessee State Capitol, in case you didn't know. Did y'all know that? What's up, Masani? Did you all know that or no? He sure did. Yep, that's why he resigned. Hold on. So Cade Cothran was fined for his kickback scheme in September of this year. He's the former chief of staff from for the Tennessee Speaker of the House, Glenn Cassida. And hold on a second. So if you go back to May 6th of 2019, he admitted to using and snorting white powder stuff in his legislative office in Tennessee. Yes, they are the ones that tried to frame Justin Jones, saying that he violated a no contact order, and via a FOIA request, he was able to prove that they faked an email. They changed the date of it, trying to frame him. And yeah, that is Justin Jones that is currently in the Tennessee legislature. So Trump pardoned him. So Glenn Cassida and Cade Cothran were accused of running, and convicted, by the way, of running a scheme to win taxpayer-funded mail business from lawmakers. So Trump pardoned them yesterday, and they were convicted of public corruption charges. And he said that they were, quote, significantly over-prosecuted. One was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and the other was convicted and received 2.5 years in prison. Yep. 100%. So I thought that I would make my Tennessee folks aware of that in case you didn't know. So Phoenix Solutions was a company that Cade Cothran launched. And he did it with Glenn Cassida and Robin Smith, who was then a representative. They claimed that the company was run by Matthew Phoenix, who was a fake ass person that never existed. Okay. He was a fake person that never existed. All right. Now Cassida resigned in 2019 because he had exchanged sexually explicit text messages about women with his chief of staff while they were heading up the Tennessee state legislature. Their text messages were both sexist and racist. Plus he admitted that he had snorted the white powdery stuff in the legislative office building in the Tennessee state legislature. So that's what they did. So they were convicted, and Trump pardoned them yesterday. So again, I guess this question would be for my, oh, thanks, Erica. Appreciate you. So this question for me, from me, is for those of you who are avid Trump supporters. Well, no, these were federal crimes, Crystal, and the state of Tennessee ain't charging shit. The state of Tennessee is up Donald Trump's ass so far. It's ridiculous. They probably smell whatever he ate for breakfast. Yeah, listen, no, that's not a thing. The only reason they were prosecuted is because the Biden administration prosecuted them. Yeah, Tennessee and Texas. Sorry. I know that was a very vivid explanation, but yeah, Tennessee and Texas are in a fight to figure it out. So listen, the only reason they were prosecuted at all is because of the Biden administration. Okay. So just letting y'all know that's the deal. Exactly. Yep. Andy Ogles was under investigation by the FBI, and then all of a sudden it just went away. Yeah. Yes, I do want Afton Bain to win in Tennessee a ridiculous amount. So I'm going to say this. I've been saying it almost every day lately, and I will probably continue to do this up through Election Day on December 2nd. But just so that you all know, the state of Tennessee has a special election coming up December 2nd. Early voting starts November 12th, and it runs through November 26th. It is for District 7 in Congress. Okay. Well, they didn't get flipped blue. Mississippi broke the Republican supermajority that has existed in their state legislature. They didn't flip blue, but they broke the supermajority, which is a big deal, right? So District 7 was Mark Green's seat in Congress, okay? Afton, who is a current Tennessee state legislator and a friend of mine who is all about the people, is running for his position. These things are really important for Tennessee because she is a badass, Steffi G. Because she is a badass. So let me just give you a little bit of this. So you all know that Marsha Blackburn is going to you want me to have her come on my live? I will see if she has got the space to make that happen. I'll let her know that there are people that wanted to know. So Marsha Blackburn is running for governor of Tennessee. You're going to have Diana Harshbarger running for her seat. Hear me? You're going to have Bobby Harshbarger running for Diana's seat. Mark my words. I'm just telling you, yes, Jasmine Crockett is there in Tennessee with Afton today, right? Afton started out as an activist fighting a ton for regular folks all throughout the state of Tennessee and in Kentucky, and in, especially rural places. And now she is, and then after that, she ran and won her Tennessee state legislature race. And now she is running for Congress. And when I tell you all, when I tell you I personally know Afton, I personally know Afton. And she's good ass people. I'm telling you. If you want somebody that is interested in people, one of the things that she wanted to do in Tennessee was get rid of the grocery tax. 100%. She is very much the real deal. I have spent the night in her home. She has been with me during the protest. She is good people, period. If Tennesseans are truly interested in voting for someone who will not back down, who will stand up for what is right for regular average people, that's the person you need to be voting for. Hands down. So just saying that again. Okay. All right. Okay. So what was on my list? Snaps, pardons, court things. You need to leave Texas. A lot of people are feeling that way. Did you see what I've said about your daughter Snap? She got 500 of her 800. Well, that's because Red Hot, that is part of the partial payment, or that's part of what her state's plan was. So the judge just issued that order yesterday afternoon. By close of business day, she needs to have her full. Salam. You got it? Good afternoon, Yvette. Yeah, so folks, this is really important. I can't stress this enough, okay? Yeah, when your governors don't want to use your rainy day fund to feed you, you should be ready to vote them out of office. Whether that's Brian Kemp, whether that's Greg Abbott, whether that's Bill Lee, I don't give a damn who it is. I don't care who it is. What's up, okay, girl? But when you have $2 billion, $6 billion, $20 billion sitting in rainy day funds, and you don't think people not being able to buy groceries is a big enough storm to feed them, vote them out of office. Yeah, Tennessee has a $2 billion rainy day fund. I don't know how much harder it has to rain on people. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. Being very clear about something. I don't know why there's this association that ultra rich people are the hardest working people around, because they are not. Where I'm from, people head out for 12-hour shifts in factories and hospitals, and those are the good paying jobs. And a lot of them don't exist like they used to. Right? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. All right. So according to Pennsylvania's rainy day fund, as of July of this year, it was approaching $11 billion. That's what it's approaching. It was $7 billion as of late 2024. That's for Pennsylvania. Don't tell me what they're waiting for. I don't know. Yeah. New Jersey's budget update is they have allocated $6.2 billion surplus to the rainy day fund. So, here's what's interesting about Jersey. Jersey drained its reserve fund. And so their budget projects that they will have $6 billion, but it was zero because they drained it. Okay. So this is not hard to do. You can look it up. Your state budgets, your state will put out their budgets every single year. Okay. So it's just really important for people to know this. Now, I'm going to say this to everybody, and I hope that you hear my heart when I say this to you. Stop letting people shame and condemn and judge poor people. And I'm going to say this. So I'm going to say two things really quickly about a post that I made yesterday before I begin to open my panel up. Okay. So yesterday I did a quick 3-minute video, and that video talked about the SNAP benefits and the fact that the president and his administration are simply choosing not to take care of people and not to allow people to be able to eat. Okay. And I put out this video really quickly and just said to people that if you have always been, for example, a lifelong Republican, and maybe you've been a Trump supporter, and you're looking at what's happening now, which there is no justification for whatsoever, and you are tying yourself into knots, trying to excuse it, okay? You don't have to. It is perfectly okay to look at that party and say, this is not the party that I've always belonged to. Richard, I didn't look. That was back in 2024. I didn't look at all of it. But did you hear me? Right? It's okay to say this is not the Republican Party that I've always belonged to. And because my party has changed, I'm also going to change. It's okay to do that. So I put this video out yesterday. And although I clearly stated in the video that I'm not telling people to become a Democrat or an independent or a member of the Green Tea Party, Peggy Fink, I hope you're watching, Peggy, on Facebook replied, who are the people that care, Danny? And my immediate response was, did you watch the fucking video? I put it out on I don't know, Facebook, TikTok, IG. I put it out everywhere. But I was literally like, did you not listen to the fucking video? It was 3 minutes long. And I reiterated several times that this was not about a party. And as a matter of fact, at the very end of the video, I gave very specific instructions. Does anybody remember what I said? At the end of the video, I said, take your hand and cover up the letter beside the person's name. And just simply look at their policies, right? Look at their hearts, look at their actions, and see if they are actually doing things that benefit your community. So I told you how to find the people that care. I don't know how hard that was, right? But Peggy, like some of you all, just automatically assume that because I want people to eat, I'm a Democrat. I share many values that show up in Democratic legislation, but I am not a registered Democrat. Did I vote for a Democratic candidate in the last presidential election? You bet your ass I did. Because I knew in my heart of hearts, the Republican candidate was going to be horrible for this country. Okay? But that doesn't make me a quote unquote Democrat, right? I believe in people over any party. Over any party, right? And please don't spam my comments. Javier, please don't spam my comments. All right. So I'm saying this to you all because apparently my little 3-minute video was confusing for some people. The way that you find out who the people are that care is you don't just listen to what they say, and you don't just look at their policies. You look at their actions. You look at how they've previously voted. You look at the way that they live their life, right? And then it's easy to tell. Another good way to tell is who's funding them. If it's a bunch of billionaires, they're probably not your people, right? DoorDash. You made my ass go to Grubhub. I can't fuck with you, DoorDash, anymore. DoorDash spent millions of dollars against Zohran Mamdani. You lost a really good customer. Okay. Next, I want to say this. There was somebody else in this who replied to my there was somebody else who replied on that video. And she said, I wish people cared about mass incarceration as much as they do SNAP. And I wish people weren't crying about the state of healthcare before Trump was in office. Not true. People have been talking about the state of healthcare for fucking decades, right? Decades. And while every single year, Republicans in Congress chisel away at the Affordable Care Act without having a single idea to replace it that they can tell people about anyway, right? People have talked about it. The reason Republicans don't have a viable alternative that they can tell you about to replace the Affordable Care Act is because they want to privatize healthcare. Period. They want to privatize as much as what comes from the federal government as they can so that their friends get richer. I'm going to say that part again. They want to privatize as much of the federal government programs and policies out there that they can in order for all of them to get rich as hell. That's the goal, people. When they say they want less government, it's so their rich ass fucking friends, right, can get richer. I don't live in New York, Richard Cope. If I did live in New York, I would have absolutely voted for Zohran Mamdani. 100%. That's who I would have voted for. Y'all have to pay attention to what's really happening. I need you all to think about what's happening in this country as if you're watching Bruce Willis in a Die Hard movie. It is never, ever, ever about whatever it is. Did you hear me? This is like a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie. While you are looking at all the things that the Trump administration is blowing up, right? Whether it's education, whether it's SNAP, they are driving trucks of gold, right? Theoretical trucks of gold through fucking underground tunnels, right? That's what they're doing. That's it. Look for the money. $100%. Right. For all your posturing, you're just a common thief. You're just a common thief. You're just a common grifter. You're just a common snake oil salesman. It is disgusting. It is disgusting to have a breakfast in the White House for Republican senators the same day that your department puts out a fucking plan to partially give low-income families access to food. You all suck. Happy girl, tell me what you mean by how do we stop the bleeding? When you say that, what do you mean? Let me tell you all something. Tuesday was a good start. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know how you can tell for sure that they are terrified about what happened on Tuesday? Because them dumbasses announced today that Elise Stefanik is running for the governor of New York. Oh my God. They have announced today that Elise Stefanik is running to be the governor of New York. Y'all didn't see that today? Just saying. Yeah. That is their answer to Mamdani. That is their answer. It ain't happening. It's not going to happen. She won't win. And I'm perfectly fine with her ass giving up that House seat. I am perfectly fine with her ass giving up that House seat. No, I didn't hear Steve Bannon's speech. I don't listen to Steve Bannon if I can help it. I value my sanity. Right? And I want you all to do me a favor. Please stop calling Ted Cruz Ted Cruz. That man's name is Raphael. Call him by his name. That man's name is Raphael Cruz. Call him by his name. Right? They got a problem with people being called things that are not on their birth certificate. Call his ass Raphael Cruz. Ted was not on that man's birth certificate. Listen, if they are such a stickler that people need to be called the things that are on their birth certificate, well, damn it, Raphael. And we got to go back several name changes in order to call JD his real last name, because he done changed his name 3 times. Just saying. You know? Yeah. Oh, because they know they are going to jail. If what's his real name? Oh, hold on, funny. Do you want the? I mean, it's real because he's changed it. But so watch this. JD Vance's name changes. Watch. Okay. So first, let me tell you, his name was hold on, let me get it. He was born James Donald Bowman. That was his name when he was born in 1984. James Donald Bowman. That was his name. his biological father was Donald Bowman. Okay. His parents split up, right? And his mother, when he was about 6, got married for the 3rd time, and he was adopted by his new stepfather, Robert Hamill. So then his mother named him James David Hamill. Okay. And so the only birth certificate that was ever on file was James David Hamill, according to the information provided by the state. James David, yes. So that's where the JD came from, was James David, right? He spent 2 decades living as James David JD Hamill, okay? And that's what he graduated under from high school. When he served in the military, he was Corporal James D. Hamill, okay? He earned his political science degree under that same name, and he blogged under that same name when he was at Yale, okay? And then he changed it again. Give me one second. Let me find the last name change. So his grandmother that raised him, her last name was Vance. So he changed his last name to Vance because that was the name of his grandmother. And he did that in 2013, right before he graduated from Yale. So yeah. So just saying. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah. And he explained all of that in his book, right? What would you like to talk about, Corey? Come on, Corey. Well, Corey, I can't request you up. Why don't you request up and we can talk about it? Corey wants to talk about Zohran Mamdani. Come on, Corey. Let's do it. I don't see you, Corey. My folks in Palestine, give me just a second. Corey, did you request? No, you? No. Let me see. There we go.
What's up?
Good afternoon, Corey. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. What is it that you would like to talk about, Zohran Mamdani?
Oh, he comes from a lot of money, doesn't he? I think people don't really realize that whole side of that story.
What do you mean he comes from a lot of money?
I think if people would take the time to look into the money he come from on his mom and dad's side, it's very interesting.
He has a net worth of around $200,000 to $300,000. That's his net worth, and the majority of that net worth comes from, I think, about 4 acres that he owns in Uganda.
Well, that's why we all mentioned not him, but his parents.
But why does it matter if he has rich parents? What does that mean exactly?
His influences and his direct relation of money. I mean, that's what people tend to associate with Trump. So why does it matter where his money came from?
I don't think that people care. Well, okay, so I think.
Hypocrisy,
Well, No, not really. Because here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I think when people talk about where Donald Trump's money comes from, is because he talks about being this starting from nothing, self-made real estate developer scraping by, when in reality his daddy gave him a shit ton of money to start his business, right? And he worked for his daddy in their real estate and development company, which is a very different thing than your parents having money and you being deeded some property in Uganda, but your parents not supporting you financially and your net worth not being millions, right? So I think that would be the difference. Zohran Mamdani's family didn't give him $1 million. His net worth is $200,000.
I think there's a very, very similar path to success with people that have rich parents.
Which is what? Which is what exactly?
Well, socioeconomical structures and opportunities that most don't.
So what is it? So what opportunities did Zohran Mamdani get that other people didn't get? Because he lives in a rent stabilized apartment, which means, hold on, he lives in a rent stabilized apartment in New York City, which means he has to be able to qualify for that, which means he can't make but so much money, right? He just ran for office as a city councilman, right? And that doesn't pay hardly anything in New York City, right? So I guess I'm struggling to see. You said let's talk about his history. And so if we want to talk about specifically about Zohran Mamdani's history, I'm sorry, what?
I said, well, you said, well, that doesn't pay very good. And I said, yeah, it doesn't. But why would he worry about money paying good when you have a rich family? Again, it's.
But what do you don't know anything about his family?
Great situation.
Well, no, you don't know that to be true.
It's easy when you can fall back into money.
But again, what does that have to do with his history? Corey, you said, let's talk about, hold on a second. Let me finish my question. You said, let's talk about Zohran Mamdani's history, but you haven't said anything about his history at all. All you've said is his family has money. Now, you don't personally know. Hold on, Corey. You have no idea if he's fallen back on that money. You have no idea if he's needed to ask his parents for money. You have no idea about anything about what that means other than his family has money. But none of that has anything to do with his history. And so, I don't know. I mean, when you said, let's talk about Zohran Mamdani's history, I thought you were going to specifically talk about him.
Right. Well, part of your history is the people and the socioeconomical situation you come from. I didn't think that was such a hard jump for somebody. I thought that was pretty.
But okay, so his family has money, and what does that have to do with him?
I don't know how many different ways I can say it, but that shapes your entire situation. That allows for you to not have to do things a certain way.
Listen, that's not true. Corey, I know people that come from money whose parents don't give them anything. I know people that come from money that their parents didn't give them shit. So you're making lots of assumptions without knowing what did or didn't happen within that family. Now, do you have something that you have that says, hey, Zohran Mamdani said or did this because he never had to worry? Do you have something? You know what I'm saying? Like you're making tons of assumptions based on your judgments about rich people or people who come from money. So what I'm asking about,
I came from a person and a lot of rich people actually, and I don't fulfill those.
say that again.
You're making the same assumptions I am.
I didn't make any assumptions. I don't know what has happened. See, here's the difference between you and I, Corey. Here's the difference. I am not assuming his parents patted his way or didn't pat his way. I don't know. What I do know is his net worth is about $200,000 to $300,000. It's $200,000 to $300,000, and the majority of that is because of 4 acres of land he owns in Uganda, where he was born. And that is all I know, and that is all I talk about, because those are simply facts. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm not assuming.
Are you saying like? You're not assuming what?
I'm not assuming that his parents having money makes him think this way or that way or any other way. I don't know. So I am waiting to see what he does. I'm not making any assumptions, Corey.
Yeah, I'm
Hey, you guys, just don't, like, guys, just stick to what we're talking about. So Corey, that's my question. So what is it what's the point? That is there something that's not an assumption that you're making that says something about Zoran Mamdani?
I think that I think I made it. My greater point is I think New York's about being for a rude awakening over this.
Over what?
When you come for money and you have those type of connections, I can't believe you can't understand or draw the conclusion of, oh yeah, this guy's no different than the others. He comes from a lot of money. If you can't make that distinct connection,
no, I don't.
Connections that come with money.
No, I don't. Because here's the thing. So who funded his campaign? Did you see lots of money? Hold on, Corey. Did you see lots of money funding his campaign?
Again, you're either willfully ignorant to it.
No, I'm asking you a question specifically.
I know you don't like my answers to the other ones.
No, I'm asking you specific questions, and all you're giving me is assumptions.
You change topics very quickly as soon as we.
I haven't changed a single topic. I'm talking about Zoran Mamdani and facts. Right. So I'm asking you. So here's what I'm asking you. Corey, I'm asking you just about specifics. So what is it about Zoran Mamdani that says anything else? Like, because here's my thing. First of all, we know very, very well that this would not be the first time New York City has been run by somebody with money, right? We would know that to be true.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Okay, well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's what I know about New York City's last mayor. New York City's last mayor committed fraud and corruption and was federally charged because of those things, right? And the only reason those charges were dropped was because he agreed to work with the Trump administration for immigration. That is the only reason. Hold on, let me finish. That's the reason those charges were dropped. Now, call me crazy, Corey, but I don't believe that we should drop charges for someone when there is evidence that clearly indicates they have committed fraud and abuse and accepted bribes while they are the mayor of New York City, just because they are willing to do something we want them to do. I think that they should still be held accountable for what they did.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe what?
What you just said, that they should be held accountable.
Yeah, I just said it.
I do too. But
Okay.
That's the problem. That's how the entire judicial system works forever. Hey, you do what we need you to. You rub our back. You give us information.
No, that's not. And I can name 1,000 times where that's not where it works.
Have you ever?
But we are specifically talking, Corey, stop. We got it.
Hey,
Corey,
this is
Corey.
easy. Hang on. Let me just finish my sentence. You interrupt so much. It's
I
like-
have not. I've asked you to stay on the topic and you don't want to do that.
Answering that topic. I've been more than patient, but Jesus Christ. Let me
Well, Jesus Christ, Corey, I'm asking you, what is it?
in court. Do you know what a plea deal is?
Yeah, Corey, I do.
Yeah, well, that's how the judicial system has worked for 100 years. So if you don't like it, I don't like it either. But that's how the system works.
No, see, that's an excuse.
It is an excuse.
That's an excuse. So here's what I'm not going to do. So Corey, let me just say this.
I can't believe this just
Corey, let me explain this to you, and I'm going to show you where this is going. So your claim was that because his family has money, he's going to be bad for New York. And my response to that is, hold on a second. My response to that is the last mayor was indicted, right, for fraud and abuse and accepting bribes and all the things, and was really bad for New York. And the Trump administration dropped the charges if he would agree to allow them to do what they want to do with regard to immigration. So my point in those two things is that having a mayor that does or doesn't come from money does not determine whether or not you're going to be good at your job as mayor. That's my point. We're not discussing the judicial system. We're discussing your argument that coming from rich parents means you're going to be bad for the city, when the last mayor didn't come from rich parents and was horrible for the city.
What mayor?
Eric Adams.
And here's the problem I see with that. I agree with you. You brought up the judicial system. I just mentioned the fact that, hey, don't act like this is a one-off thing. Like
no,
Trump did this. They all do it all the time.
No,
right, middle, they all do it.
Corey, this is what I'm saying to you. So you want to turn this into a discussion about the judicial system, and it's not.
No, I don't.
You just did. So listen, your argument, Corey, your argument is this. Your argument is that Zohran Mamdani comes from a family with money, so he's going to be bad for New York. And my direct response to that is,
You missed my entire point because you're so emotional.
well, oh my God, I'm not emotional, Corey.
You clearly are.
I'm not emotional. No, I'm not. If you don't understand passion, Corey, yeah, so you're not going to gaslight me, Corey, at all. That's not the way that it works. Well, okay, so what was your point, Corey? Because I've asked you 5 damn times. What's your point exactly?
When people are so emotional, you can't even let them finish.
What is your point?
Upset. My point is, there are multiple red flags, and he got beat by a really bad candidate who was a Democrat, who ran as a Republican and only won by 200,000 votes. That's a muddy, bad election, and it's not as good a win as we think. It's also not a good thing for New York, especially given his ideologies on the rent front. So let's go control rent. What investors are going to come in and build when there's only so much money they can make?
Okay, so
Well, hang on. Let's not get
oh
emotional.
God. Oh my. Okay, so wait. If you say that again, because you're being condescending and rude, you're being condescending and rude. You're being condescending and rude. So you can either take that shit down a notch, or go. So choose, Corey. Choose. Oh, don't be so emotional, Corey. Don't be so emotional, Corey. You seem to be a little emotional right now. Yeah, well, you breathe. Well, you finish your statement without being a smartass to me, and I'll let you finish. Keep saying derogatory things to me, right? And then I'm not going to let you finish shit, Corey. So if you can make your point without saying condescending things to me, then you can make them. If you cannot, then you will be booted. Make your fucking choice.
Okay, are you done?
Are you done? Are you done? Well, when you can say it respectfully, then that's cool. So this is the question. Corey, can you say it respectfully, yes or no?
Yes, Dana.
Great. So finish your sentence.
Okay. So anyways, in Minneapolis, they tried this exact same thing. When they did it, investors pulled out by the thousands because they go, oh man, rent control? We can't compete in that because we're small. We're this, we're that. And all these things started happening and slowed down building across the board. And they went, we can't have this. This is not good. And they had to redact all those things. Now, as soon as they redact them, the market flooded back open. And I wonder why, because that's how it works. You have to keep things competitive and fair. Once you put a cap on things, those things change. Anybody's free to look up this Minnesota situation. It's really simple. It was really easy to look into. Rent control doesn't work. It never has, it never will. And implementing such policies, while on the surface always look great, and I agree with them. I'm like, yeah, let's make it affordable. It just doesn't translate to dollars. It's very good for the feel goods, but it's not very good for the wallet. Now that's all I had to say, and you jumped down my throat in this weird, like, emotional trip. I don't understand it. But I think we can both agree that money's money and money talks, money bullshit walks. But his policies, his line of where he comes from, and ideologies, they don't align to good things for New York. And in fact, it's why everybody that was looking at a Democrat that they hate, the guy still brought in 800,000 people running on a Republican ticket. That's crazy.
Okay, so Corey, have you ever lived in New York City?
Yes, live in Queens.
Okay, so, and how long have you lived in Queens?
No, I did live in Queens. I moved.
How long did you live in Queens?
Just a year.
Okay, so you lived in Queens for a year.
Yep.
Okay, so my family lives in New York and has for over 60 years. My daughter lives in Brooklyn. My aunties, my uncles, they've all lived there for over 60 years. Okay. So the first thing that you have to talk about, and I think the thing that's really important is first, you're changing positions because your initial statement was, let's talk about Zohran Mamdani's history. Now we have changed from his history to his rent stabilization policy. So do you know how rent stabilization works in New York City?
To a degree, but not in all the odds and ends, because it never concerned me to that matter.
Okay, so rent stabilized apartments are specific apartments that the city has contracts with the people who own those apartments. So this is not about whether or not, excuse me, please don't interrupt, because I'll let you finish. So this is not about, will investors come in and build new apartments, new high rises, new anything. This is not about that. This is about existing apartments in New York City that are part of a contract with the city. And that contract allows the city to determine if the rent on those specific apartments only is raised. That's why it's called a rent stabilized apartment. So what Zohran Mamdani has told people, yeah, I can't tell private landlords what they can and can't charge, but what I can do is freeze the rent on rent stabilized apartments that the city has contracts with, because the city determines if that rent is raised. That is something that has been done before and has been successful in the city of New York. It is not the same thing as capping rent across the city of New York. It's not the same.
There's a renting crisis now, right?
Okay, so the housing crisis is not about the rent stabilized apartments. It's about the private landlords raising the prices on rent. Right? So that's the reason that's the reason that they can't afford the rent. So again, Corey, now you just said to me, you don't know how it works because you've never had to worry about it. It's never affected you. What I'm telling you is that I know it. And I'm telling you that you are talking about something that is not the same thing.
I don't know the nuance in it now.
Okay, well, that's my thing. So Corey, before you come on a platform and say that he wants to do something that didn't work somewhere else, you should know the nuances of what he wants to do. Because what you said, Corey, is what he wants to do won't work because they tried it over here and it didn't work. But the truth is, you don't know what he wants to do because you don't know the ins and out of rent stabilized housing in New York City. So if you don't know, if Corey, stop interrupting, you're being emotional.
Oh yeah.
Right. So again, Corey, you can't say that something won't work when you don't know what the something is. And you don't know how the something works.
So we called it. I don't know what borough you're from, so I don't know what you would have called it, but we called it rent lottery. Basically, when you got selected for one of those housings, you never moved out because like you were guaranteed to be locked into that rate for the rest of your freaking days in that apartment. So you know people that are renting a house in this park for $500 for the rest of their lives. So no, I do understand it. What I'm saying is I don't understand the subsection laws and where your dips and your loopholes
and the point is that those apartments have not had their rent locked in. That's the point. The point, Corey, is that the prior mayor raised the rent 12% in those apartments. And so what Zohran Mamdani is saying is, listen, the last mayor had rent stabilized apartments increased by 12%. They didn't have a locked in rate. And what he is saying, let's freeze that rate because you've been raised 12% over the last 4 fucking years. And that's not cool. And that's too much of an increase. So let's give New Yorkers a break. That's what he's saying, Corey.
Oh man, I wish you weren't so nuanced in this, but
you mean you wish I wasn't so fact-based?
No, you're just
you wish I didn't understand it?
No, it's not that. If you let me finish the sentence, it'd help you.
Okay, well, let's help me then.
It's like when I'm gathering that you're a leftist based on this, but
well, there you go again, Corey, making lots of assumptions.
I said I'm gathering. I didn't say you was. I said I'm gathering.
Which again would be an assumption.
No, gathering means I'm gathering data.
Okay, so what is your point, Corey?
Well, you've interrupted 2 or 3 times.
Well, no, you just changed sentences 2 or 3 times.
My point was, if this will help you.
I don't need help, but if it'll help you, go ahead and say your point.
I think you do.
Well, you can think whatever you would like and still be wrong.
Weak woman who needs to get a little bit more education.
Well, you can think whatever you like, Corey. I'm not the person who came on a platform and didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. That was you.
Well, actually, you kind of are the fucking.
Except I'm not, because I know what rent stabilized apartments are, Corey, and you don't.
Well, I just gave you the example.
Except you gave an example that is not what is currently happening in New York. And the example that you gave, Corey, is exactly what Zohran Mamdani wants to do. Okay. Yeah.
You're very nuanced in this argument.
I am very well informed. Yes, I am.
But the problem is you're looking at a very small corner of this situation.
The problem is you don't know what rent stabilization is.
Oh, honey. Goddamn.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Darling. 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 Okay. Darling. Listen, sugar baby. Listen, sugar. Listen, sugar. Listen, sugar. Well, you know, did you just use the R word? Good Lord. Now, Corey, that tells me all I need to know about you, honey. Honey, baby doll. Yeah, he did use it. Yeah, he did use the slur. He did. So we don't do slurs here, Corey. We don't. We don't. So somebody can go ahead and block him. You knew it was coming, right? You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. What a nasty man. What a nasty man. What a nasty man. You know, them men, they're just so nasty. They're so emotional and not informed. Holy jeez. Can I see if okay, so listen, I need to do some things that are very, very quick because in 25 minutes I have to get my grandbabies off the bus. Okay? I do. So here's what I'm going to ask you all to do for me. I'm about to bring up my friends. Thank you, Lisa. I'm about to bring up a couple of my friends. I need to balance this panel out. So I'm going to bring up one of my Palestinian friends, and I'm going to bring up somebody that lives in the States. And what I'm going to ask you all to do is if you have some magic beans that you can give to my Palestinian friends, please do that. It is winter there. I do have grandbabies. I have 3 of them. So, but thank you. Oh, I know what his real issue is, Bobby. I'm very aware what his issue is with with Zoran Mamdani. I know what the issue is, but I was going to let him just talk about anything so we could give out actual facts and information. So do me a favor, folks. If you can, please hand out them magic beans. The goal is 1.5K, please. 1.5K to our friends. That would be amazing. Okay. And what I'm going to do when I run this panel real quick is alaikum salam, Mohammed, because I know he's going to say
Salam Dani.
Keep Halek, Mohammed. Into Galbi, Mohammed. Into Galbi. Yeah. So, all right, folks, I need to, where is, oh my gosh, I am, I think I need to do, I am doing my best, you guys. Thank you all for holding space for me. I appreciate you. Alaikum salam. Appreciate you. Thank you folks for holding space for me so that we can make this happen. For those of you guys that are wondering, the reason why I alternate and I bring up folks that are in the States when I also bring up folks that are in Palestine, it is because what I have noticed is that TikTok will start to drop the viewers when they see me bringing up our Palestinian friends, which I think sucks 100%. I don't like it. And so I'm trying to balance things out. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information so that I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I need one more. Okay. So 1.5K, please. If you guys can do that for each of them, that would be amazing. Please, please, please. And alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Always alhamdulillah.
Yeah, it's always alhamdulillah, 100%. Oh, the last one didn't make it up. What happened? See, sometimes I hit these things and then like it doesn't get connected, and sometimes they just have bad internet. So I am trying my best. Because it was somebody that came up yesterday and their internet was so horrible that I couldn't, that they kept getting dropped. And so I'm trying. Let me see who's up. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sandy. All right. So appreciate you guys for taking care of everybody. So while they talk, I now want to move to the part where we talk about what is happening globally with this country. So we need to talk about a couple of different things. Okay. So first, what we need to talk about is what is happening with the tariff court case. All of the arguments have been heard at the Supreme Court. Now, here's what it was WESAF, WESAF, Sandy, WESAF. That's who it was, and they had a hard time yesterday. So a couple of things. Let me just tell you a little bit about my guests very quickly, and then I need to tell you guys about this. You ready? So top right beside Lisa, that is Mohammed Osama. We have known him for months and months and months now. He is a member of Palestinian Press. He has a toddler who the only thing that baby Osama has ever known in this life is illegal occupation and G-side. They have relocated multiple times over the last couple of years. Their house in the north, in North Gaza, has been destroyed. It is in rubble. They have a tent, but they do need blankets, cooking oil, rice, flour, all the things. And his wife is pregnant with twins. So if you have magic beans, please feel free to give the magic beans. Okay. Next, directly below Mohammed Osama is another one of our friends, Abu Malik. He's got his beautiful Habibti with him. He has a couple of different children. That's his beautiful daughter that you see with him. Also a friend of ours. You know, folks, do what you can, help the babies. Somebody dropped. Who dropped? I don't know what happened. It was one of our Palestinian folks, and I'm not sure which one. See, this is what happens. Sometimes the internet is bad, and I think what's really, really important for people to know about what's happening. Abu, you were here yesterday and didn't make it up. So let me see if you can get connected today. Oh, Mohammed Osama dropped. That's who it was. Okay. Appreciate you guys. So where am I going now? I'm going to Ahmed Ibn Gaza, right? So he is also Palestinian Press, as you can see, who's a friend of ours as well. And what happened? Okay. Thank you, Sandy, for handling that in the background. And again, y'all know the deal. So let me just say this, you guys. Press gets help, but sometimes we have members of our Palestinian press that they don't get any help. Sometimes some of them haven't been paid for months. You want to make sure that you send the magic beans to the boxes that have timers, please. And we're going to try to do 1.5K so that we can rotate people out and get help to as many people as we possibly can. And then where am I going? Okay, so right beside me in the red shirt, this is Ahmed Darawi, who is a friend of ours who is a teacher in Gaza. His students go to the Speak Up School. If you go to my profile, you will see a video from Yusuf, who's one of the students there. They've done lives with us several times. He teaches them English. They also have other students that go there that learn Arabic and other things. So keep in mind, these are beautiful young children that are still going to school in the middle of a G-side. So yay, if you can help him out. And then we also have Mohammed Ibn Gaza, Mahmoud Ibn Gaza, who is also to the right of him. You also see he has a couple of babies as well. So appreciate the magic beans if you can make them happen. Listen, let me tell you all this. Things that are really important. The Supreme Court case that has been heard this week regarding Donald Trump's use of tariffs in this country is really important. And the reason it's important is because the law that they are trying to use, which is called the IEEPA law, even the conservative justices seem very critical of. And even though the court has until next summer to make a decision on this court case, both the administration and the plaintiffs have asked the court to make a quick decision. And because, there's a lot that would go into reimbursing the small businesses and the states for the things that they have already paid in tariffs. Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, tariffs are taxes, and those taxes get paid by the American people, right? They get paid initially by the small businesses, and then that gets passed down to the American citizens who then buy the services, buy the products. Like, it's just a fact that it gets passed on. Salam, Wami. Salam, sister. Alaikum salam, sis. Keep Alec. So they do the hella because they know that that's what rock. Oh, hella. Okay, you got to say it again. Damn, I got to learn this one. Say it again. Ahlan. Ya hella. Aylan Yahela.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
did
gotta
it.
learn that.
Bravo.
We got to do it every day because this is how I learn.
Yeah. Okay.
So Wadmi is also a mom, and she is in Gaza, and she does have babies and all the things. And she oftentimes helps me when I need to translate because she has beautiful. They are beautiful children, aren't they, Shanna? But she speaks great English.
It's my pleasure to help you, Danny. It's my pleasure.
And it is
many things for us. I should make something for that.
Yeah, listen, I am very grateful, and like I said, it is a privilege to be able to be a conduit for you guys. So, folks, listen, this is honestly and truly the way that I feel about it. I don't have the ability to just make things. I can't snap my fingers and fix things, right? But what I can do is host a platform and bring up the folks that are in Palestine and allow people to do just something. And I do this daily, and many of them have waited a very long time. I wish that I could just bring them up straight off the bat, but TikTok has started limiting. They will literally limit my live and limit people being able to see it if I bring them up too fast. So if I stay on for like a couple hours first and then I bring them up, then like we're holding steady at 300 people in the room, right? And so at least then we can make that happen. So yeah. So yes. Thank you.
When I can message you?
Oh shit. Yes. Do it today and I will message you. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget.
In which time exactly? Because I don't want to bother you.
You won't bother me. If I do it now, TikTok might kick me out.
No, don't do it now.
So it's nighttime there. What it's like 9 o'clock at night. So give me if you message me like in the next hour, I'll be able to message you before I take the kids to physical therapy. Okay. That's what we'll do. Yes. Oh gosh, they're having a hard time with internet. I also want you all to understand that there is.
Yeah, I can't see you. I can't see you right now.
Yeah, I can.
Screen is dark.
Yeah, I see you. I see you. I do not know some of the people that have requested. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. So I'm gonna do my best with it. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I need to finish descriptions.
No, you do your best.
Trying. Listen, so this box right here, you guys can't see it. Thank you, Jack. Oh, listen, I need for you all to understand this too. Listen to me when I say this. You can go to my Linktree on every platform, and there is a collection of links that says Palestinian support links. Those links go directly to like direct help, because even though we give them magic beans on TikTok, yeah.
When I make a link, just go to my link, guys.
Yes, because when we do the magic beans, even though we do the magic beans, TikTok takes a cut of the magic beans, right? So it's hard. Yeah, they take a cut. And so if you want to be able to assist directly, go to my Linktree, please. By the way, I have a link that was sent to me specifically by Abu Sarraj for a child. I'm going to put that one into my Discord today. And I'm going to ask you guys to please do your best to help out with that if you can. Okay. Holy geez. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get to all the ones that I know for sure. I almost swiped myself right on out of here, y'all. So, see, Raja helped yesterday because he knew the one person who was, oh my geez, oh Pete, who was a paramedic in Palestine, but this joker said, "I'm telling you, I'm with the ambulance unit because people have said crazy things." I don't know how to verify that person.
Who's best?
That says Ahmed paramedic. I don't know that person like at all. And I don't know how to.
بتعرفوا أحمد بارمدكس؟
Yeah.
بتعرفوه من اللي فوق؟
Yeah.
حدا بيعرف أحمد يا جماعة؟ أحمد بارمدكس؟
Kat, can you do it for me? That would be amazing. A Money showed Kat, I think, they can find the location. Hi, Habibti. His little girl is so pretty. Keep Halleck. Yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Into Galabi, Habibti. Sweet girl. She's tired. I love you. Bless it. Y'all, and let me tell you something. I'm okay with Abu Malik staying up just for an extra little bit today, and I'm going to tell you why. Both he and Wadmi yesterday both were like, you can drop me if you need to bring up somebody else.
Yeah. You can drop me anytime.
I know, but
to get more people.
But what I'm saying is today, both of you all dropped yesterday. So today I'm fine with you all staying up until your timer runs out, and I'm okay with whatever you all get during that time. I think Abu Malik and both Wadmi, they both gave up their spots yesterday for other people. So if you have magic beans, extra magic beans that you want to give them, please feel free to do so. While
مالك قاعدة بتحكي سوري داني I have to translate for أبو مالك. أبو مالك قاعدة بتحكي إنه أنا وياك نزلنا مشان نعطي مكاننا لحد تاني، فهي بدها تخلينا نضل موجودين للوقت اللي عندنا التايمر تيخلص وناخد اللي بيقدروا عليه. Okay, Danny, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, if you could just, before his timer runs out, Abu Malik up there, because his timer is going to run out faster than hers is. I want to share with this to you guys for just a moment, just so that you all know. I want to give you a few facts.
Abu Malik, guys, not me. Focus on Abu Malik.
I want to give you guys just a little bit of information because now is the best time for me to do it. So listen, this is what's really important for you to understand. Even though there's supposed to be a ceasefire, there is almost 300 Palestinians that have been unalived since the ceasefire was established in October. I want you to understand that this is not some civil war or civil conflict that goes back decades or hundreds of years. That is not the case. This is about an apartheid state. This is about the state of Israel illegally occupying the land of Palestine. Those people, they don't even get to determine what roads they travel on, if they leave the city, if they go to another country for medical aid. They do not get to do that. Literally, there are checkpoints. Thank you, Carla. There are checkpoints all across the country, and Israel is who decides that. I am going to start to put on my shoes while I do that. You guys down here on the tube of you and the book of faces, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm going to keep my TikTok running so that my amazing Danikins and moderators can keep this running even while I go to the bus stop. Okay. So I appreciate that. Please, you guys, I will be here again tomorrow, even though it is Saturday. I will be here and we will continue to talk about all of the things. Okay. Love you much. Appreciate your support. Thank you.